Welcome to our video interview series where we talk to Valley leaders about why they love accounting and what advice would they give themselves if they could go back to when they were at that staff and senior level. Today we're talking to Farrah Whitworth. She is the Chief Operating Officer at Globe Trust Company. She started there about 21 years ago and has been promoted up the ranks now to the Chief Operating Officer. Now, you had an interesting comment the other day about why you got your degree in tax.
Okay. Well, I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be an accountant. But I also knew that I didn't want to be the accountant that you see on TV, that very stereotypical short sleeve dress shirt, tie, sitting in a cubicle in a windowless giant cavernous room all day. I knew I didn't want to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. With no personality, and they just look at their numbers and their spreadsheets and their calculators with the tapes, and that's it. I knew I didn't want to be that kind.
Right.
So I went the route of tax, and I love that because it is such a personal relationship when you're working in tax with your clients.
Right.
Especially when you work with individuals, because you get to know their hopes and dreams, what they wish for their children, and in the area that I work, what they want to have happen to their wealth and their assets after they die.
Okay.
And when you sit with someone and you are helping them walk through their feelings about that, you really get to understand what's really, truly important to them, and that makes you a better advisor going forward.
Right.
I love it.
But you did have a comment about you have two things that happened to you in life.
Yes.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes, and I chose the more cheerful of the two. And as it's nearing tax deadline, and I haven't even finished my own tax return yet, I'm questioning whether it is the cheerful one, but it's also job security. Let's be honest, taxes are never going away, especially for those in the high net worth, high income level. So there'll always be job security. The work has to go somewhere.
So what advice would you give yourself going back to that staff or senior level?
This is a hard one because there's two pieces that I would give myself, if that's okay.
Yes.
Number one, don't wait for a higher up or a mentor to define your career for you, define your career path for you. Figure out what you want and go after it and ask for it.
Okay.
No one's going to give you anything unless you ask.
That's a great piece of advice.
Thank
Yes.
you. And number two, if you find something within the accounting profession that you love, get really good at it. You know, I love individuals. I love working with individuals. I love helping them reach their goals. If you get really good at it and you love it, the financial rewards will come.
Okay.
It may not be right away. It may take a little bit, but eventually your financial compensation and your financial rewards will come. Because if you love something, you're going to do a lot of it and you're going to do it really well, and then the financial rewards will come.
Right. And it's funny that you bring out individuals though too, because you do deal with individuals where sometimes people don't want to do those individual tax returns. Like going back to public accounting, I think most people wanted to work on corporations and things like that. But your flow through entities, your individuals, there's a lot going on. And especially with the estate tax stuff.
Right.
So,
well, and even going back to your very first accounting class and your very first week in Accounting 101, and you're learning about what a financial statement is, right? The very first thing they teach you is that financial statements are for the end user. Well, who's the end user? They're people, right? So when you form those relationships and you get to understand what's important to those people, you can help them understand the numbers.
All right. So why do you love accounting? Why are you glad that you got into this profession?
I'm so glad that I got into this profession because accounting gives you the ability to do anything in the business world. It is a wonderful, solid foundation for all areas of business. Even if you go the financial accounting route, which I didn't, I went a different route. If you go that route, you're exposed to everything within a company. Marketing, you're exposed to budgets, you're exposed to projections and strategy, and you're exposed to all of that. And you can kind of decide where your passions lie and head in that direction. Accounting gives you the foundation. It's also flexible. If you're someone who wants that job in the big cavernous room and you get there at 8 and you leave at 5 and that's all you do, accounting can do that for you. It's great, and it's good job security. But if you also want to go and you want to be creative and strategic and be involved in the planning and climb the ladder and reach the C-suite, accounting can give you that foundation as well, much better than any of the other business school majors, in my humble opinion.
Well, no, and I agree with you because as a COO, I mean, you have an understanding of the numbers, and every company runs on numbers. Yeah, you need sales, but you also need so that's perfect. All right.
Right, and just before this call, as an example, I was talking to one of my colleagues about an investment partnership. So I'm dealing with investments, I'm dealing with tax, I'm dealing with the debits and credits and financial statement reporting. It's all parts of a business. It's not just key charts and debits and credits and financial statements. It's so much more than that.
All right, Farrah. So as we wrap up today, is there anything else you would want to tell people as they're starting out in their career?
I would, and that is that in the 5 years, oh my gosh, 25 years that I've been doing this, the accounting profession itself has really changed for the better, in my opinion.
Okay.
Especially for those that are just now starting out in their career, they're just getting their degrees, they're contemplating a CPA designation. Those that are hiring at that level now are paying more attention to the person that they're hiring. Don't be afraid to express your desires for your role. If work-life balance is important to you, don't be afraid to speak up and say that.
Okay.
Because those people that are doing the hiring want that for you because they want you to join them for the long term. They're no longer a profession of let's burn these people out in 2 years and we'll just get new ones. It's not that anymore.
Okay.
So don't let that old lingering stereotype affect your decision as you consider where you're going to go with your career.
Okay. I think that is a great piece of advice. All of this has been great. Farrah has been nice enough to allow us to share her LinkedIn profile, so we'll include that in the notes below. Check her out on LinkedIn. But stay tuned for our next video series where we interview another Valley leader about why they love accounting. But we definitely appreciate Farrah's time today. Thank you, Farrah.
Thank you, Bernadette. Bye, everyone.